US dollar, symbol of economic power and stability. Morali Edutech invites you to have a quick glance at the history and importance of US dollar. The United States dollar is recognized as one of the most powerful currencies worldwide, impacting not only the US economy, but also the global landscape. Serving as the leading reserve currency, the US dollar is essential in international trade, finance, and political affairs. Its prevailing status has influenced global markets for many years, with its value varying in response to a range of economic conditions. The US dollar was established as the official currency of the United States in 1792. However, its roots trace back to 16th century Europe. The term thaler, originally referring to a Czech coin, came to denote any comparable European silver coin, and its English translation is dollar. The concept of the dollar was introduced to the Americas during the Spanish colonization, where the Spanish peso, also known as the dollar, served as a basis for paper currency in Mexico. Over the next 400 years, the Spanish dollar became the US dollar that we know today. 1774. The Continental Congress of the United States was established during the American Revolution. They utilized the Spanish dollar to support the issuance of paper money in various states, referred to as continental currencies. 1776. The United States gained its independence and chose to prioritize the dollar over the pound sterling, aiming to create a cohesive monetary policy. Meanwhile, foreign and continental currencies continued to be in circulation. 1792. The Coinage Act established the dollar as the official currency of the United States. 1848. The California gold rush led to a rise in gold production while causing a decline in the value of silver. Consequently, the dollar was backed by gold. 1863. The National Banking Act established that all other forms of currency, such as the Spanish dollar and various continental currencies, were no longer recognized as legal tender. Consequently, the greenback, paper American dollar bill was introduced into circulation. 1900. The Gold Standard Act established the value of the dollar at 25.8 grains of gold. 1913. The Federal Reserve was established to oversee monetary policy and ensure that an adequate amount of currency is available in the economy. 1929. The Wall Street crash triggered a prolonged crisis in the United States known as the Great Depression. In response, investors started to stockpile gold as a secure asset, leading to a 30% decline in the value of the dollar. 1933. President Roosevelt mandated that Americans convert their personal gold into dollars, resulting in the establishment of the world's largest gold reserve at Fort Knox. 1939. The increase in employment and domestic goods production during World War II bolstered the value of the dollar. 1944. The Bretton Woods Agreement established after the war linked international currencies to the US dollar instead of gold, effectively designating the dollar as the world's primary currency. Despite the collapse of the Bretton Woods system in the 1970s, the US dollar has maintained its status as the leading reserve currency. Central banks globally continue to hold substantial quantities of US dollar in their foreign exchange reserves to support international trade and investment. The dollar's stability, liquidity, and broad acceptance render it a preferred currency for global transactions. 1971. President Richard Nixon removed the dollar from the gold standard, leading to its value being assessed alongside other global currencies in what is now referred to as foreign exchange. The dollar emerged as the unofficial global currency, necessitating careful safeguarding of its value, as any changes could influence both international markets and the U.S. economy. Various domestic and global events have affected the dollar's price, including during the U.S.-Iran oil embargo from 1979 to 1980, instability arose that impacted the dollar's value, creating uncertainty for foreign investors. As crude oil prices surged to $36.83, the dollar experienced a decline in value. The terrorist attacks on the United States on September 11, 2001, led to significant fluctuations in the dollar, with U.S. stocks experiencing a loss of around $1.4 trillion in value. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted by 14.3% within just 1 week. This event resulted in a decrease in foreign investment in the dollar, and consumer confidence, a key indicator of dollar strength, fell to its lowest point since 1994. In the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, many global currencies hit record lows, yet the US dollar emerged from a 5-year downturn. The US dollar index, which assesses the dollar's value against its primary trading partners, increased by 15.5% as European currencies depreciated. For instance, the British pound experienced a significant decline against the dollar, dropping from 1.9 to 1.3 as investors turned to the USD as a safe haven. The 2016 election of Donald Trump marked a significant moment for the dollar, which experienced a notable increase against the pound following his victory. Investors were optimistic about his proposed tax cuts and infrastructure investments, leading the dollar to rise from 0.79 prior to the election to 0.83 after his inauguration in January 2017. However, as Trump faced an investigation for obstruction of justice and struggled to implement his economic reforms, the dollar subsequently declined to 0.78 by June, falling below its pre-election level. Despite its fluctuations, the dollar has consistently served as the primary global currency, with over 65% of all circulating dollars utilized outside the United States. It plays a role in 50% of international trade and is featured in every major forex pair, representing 80% of forex transactions. More than one-third of nations link their currencies to the dollar. Although it is no longer gold-backed, it is supported by the world's largest economy. Most central banks use it as a reserve currency to protect against inflation, and as of 2017, the central banks of Germany, France, and the UK held more dollar liabilities than their own currencies. The US dollar plays a central role in most international transactions. A significant number of commodities, such as oil, gold, and agricultural goods, are valued in dollars. This arrangement is referred to as the petrodollar system, where nations engaged in oil trading receive US dollars in exchange for their products. This practice bolsters the dollar's demand, extending its influence even in areas distant from the United States. Additionally, companies and governments globally tend to favor borrowing in US dollars due to the lower interest rates and the stability linked to the currency. The dollar's extensive adoption in trade agreements and international financial markets reinforces its position as a key global financial instrument. The impact of the dollar reaches far beyond trade, permeating the financial sector as well. Prominent global financial entities, including the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, frequently conduct their operations in US dollars. Furthermore, a significant portion of worldwide debt is denominated in dollars, positioning the U.S. economy as a crucial participant in international financial markets. Countries often conduct cross-border lending in dollars, which solidifies the dollar's prominent position within the international financial system. Consequently, alterations in U.S. monetary policy, particularly those determined by the Federal Reserve, can significantly impact the global economy. Although the US dollar continues to be the preferred global currency, it has faced periodic challenges to its supremacy. Alternatives like the euro, Chinese yuan, and various cryptocurrencies have emerged as noteworthy contenders. Nevertheless, the dollar's extensive role in international trade and finance, coupled with the significant size and impact of the US economy, ensures its ongoing prominence in the global financial landscape. The future of the US dollar is a subject of ongoing discussion among economists and financial analysts. Although it is anticipated that the dollar will continue to serve as the leading reserve currency globally for the near term, there are apprehensions regarding the challenges that may arise from the emergence of digital currencies and changing geopolitical landscapes. As the global economy progresses, the function of the US dollar is expected to evolve. However, its importance in international trade and finance is likely to remain significant. In summary, the US dollar transcends its role as merely the currency of the United States. It serves as the foundation of the international financial system. Its historical significance and current supremacy position the dollar as a key factor in molding the global economy, affecting aspects such as trade agreements and monetary policy. Although it may encounter emerging challenges ahead, the US dollar is expected to maintain its status as the world's most reliable currency for the foreseeable future. And lastly, Let's see which countries use US dollar as their official currency. United States of America, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico,
Ecuador,
Republic of El Salvador, Republic of Zimbabwe,
Guam,
Virgin Islands of the United States, Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, American Samoa, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Republic of Palau, and Marshall Islands. Hope you enjoyed our presentation. Please share and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos.